welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and we're at the final bottle of this little series I did with the 375s. And I'm still burping. I don't know what's going on. But earlier we did the Hornitos, rolled over into the Espolón. We peaked at the Luna Azul. Now we're going to find out how the 1800 holds up. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. All my returning viewers, you know how we do, so let's get crack-a-lackin', shall we? Today, we're going to finish off the 1800 Reposado. That's a Aztec-style bottle. I looked into that, and they talked about the design of that. That's got a nice, big, hearty head cap, and it's a screw cap. Interesting. So, let's go ahead and get this. Yeah, we're going to do the headstand, right? Yeah, we do the headstands. We did the headstand for all of them. We're not going to stop. We're going to hold true all the way through. I have OCD. Leave me alone. For all my new people, Mr. Randy does a 3-part series in his review system where episode 1, off the rip, get it home, crack it open, have my first pour, share my first impressions with you, because gosh darn it, that's what we do. Part 2, full review time, halfway down. I'll get back to that in just a moment. Halfway down, I leave it alone. I let it sit. Catch up with that in a moment. I go online. I find next to nothing but reviews. Sometimes it just doesn't feel worth it. Anywho, most of the time I'll only be able to tell you what you already see on the bottle. That rings true. I bring it back, I present it to you, whatever I managed to drag back in, like, never mind. I score it, we continue to drink it because part 3, where we're at today, the final pour, thus the name, we have the final pour in the glass, we compare it to the first pour off the rip and everything in between. I think we're good now. So you've seen the front, you've seen the back. I think this, I'm going to keep this bottle. I think I'm also going to keep that Espolón back there too. Okay. That is the darkest of the tequilas that are showcased in this little series. You just scoot over a little bit? Yeah, because, I mean, we're pretty much done with this thing. On the nose. Here we go. Hold on. It's very, very light. Not like too light, but it's probably the light. No, the Luna Azul had the lightest nose all the way through the series. This one has second place when the lightest nose. Espolón number 3. Hornitos was 4. Hornitos had the highest punchy, most abrasive, aggressive nosing, but that was off the rip. Now, another side note in case you didn't watch the previous videos. Hornitos and Espolón were not impressive to me off the rip. They got better halfway through. They got really good halfway through. Final pour, the Hornitos was amazing on the final pour. Espolón was actually really exceptional on the final pour. They got better as it came down. We talked about how they needed to off-gas and open up. They get better. So try that. If you have your first pour out of a bottle and you find that it's a little too much, it's a little too aggressive, you can't take it, separate it. Pour half that bottle into another bottle, another jar, a mason jar, whatever, an old peanut butter jar, I don't care. Just pour it into something else. Don't pour it in the drain. Trust me on this. If you pour it half out and you let it sit week, 2 weeks, let it off gas, let it mellow out, open the bottle. That's another thing I figured out. I'm going to do another experiment where I'm going to do this experiment. I will take a bottle that I find too punchy, too rough around the edges, a little too aggressive. I'll crack open the first pour. I will split it, immediately split it into 2 bottles. Then what I'll do is every day I'll give it some agitation, and then I'll remove the cap for a minute or 2, and then put it back on. That will simulate you drinking through and down the bottle. When that happens, after about a week, try it. After a week, when you open it up, have a pour, have a tasting, and see what that tells you. Is it smoothing out? No? continue for one more week. I know it's some work. I really know it's work. Trust me. I put a lot of work and effort into this channel doing all these things. But it's worth it. These two were bad. I didn't care for them off the rip. I thought, oh man, this is a waste. This is a waste. This is going to be hurtful. I'm going to suffer. I'm going to suffer for everyone watching these videos. I changed my mind. 180-degree spin-a-rooney. Boop. Much better. So try that next time. You find a bottle that you have, and it's not just tequila. Bourbon as well. Scotch. I don't think I've ever had a scotch that was horrible except for that one. There's always one. There's always that one. Anywho, a lot of these libations and these spirits or whatnot, they are kind of strong. They got that strong off the rip kind of deal, but they mellow out when you get about halfway through. People have drank or had a pour off the rip of a bottle and they said they didn't like it. They capped it, put it on the shelf, forgot about it. Well, they come back to it a couple weeks, a couple months later, and they try it again, and it's like, oh, it's still the same crap before I didn't like. There's a reason. It hasn't been able to open up. Now, a whiskey or a spirit of sort is different than a wine. A wine, in a sense, is still the same. It's got captive gas that needs off gas. It needs to decant, and open up. Wines can open up in a matter of minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes, and a wine should be good to go. It'll be much, much better. But as you drink the bottle down, you're constantly opening this. Like I said, you constantly open it. You're letting the gas out. Captured gas comes out. Fresh oxygen goes in. And it repeats the process. So as you drink a bottle down, you'll find that it might get better at the halfway point or lower. But let's see what this has done. Let's get that first palating done. Ooh, wait. That kind of hit me like a bourbon. I'm wondering, did somebody replace my tequila with bourbon? Did one of you ninjas sneak into my house and swap this out with a bourbon? Kind of smells like a tequila, but kind of also now I'm thinking bourbon. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy, crazy. That was the first acclamation, but hey, we've had like all that acclamation. We're good to go by now, but it does. I'm thinking this. I'm drinking that. I'm thinking this. What is that about? Hold on. Yeah, that's crazy. It's got that sweet caramel, that smooth caramel, vanilla, oakiness. Of course, it's rested in ex-bourbon barrels, right? So there's not a lot of spice. I mean, there's a nice little amount of spice. That's crazy. No, hold on. I think I'm going to have to do this again. I think I'm going to have to get another 1800 and try this again, because that's crazy. I think I might do that whole experiment thing I'm talking about with this bottle. Maybe another 375. Or, yeah, I'll keep this bottle. I'm going to keep this bottle. I plan on keeping it anyways. I'm going to keep this bottle. I'm going to buy another one. I'm going to do that. I'm going to crack it open, halvesy, right? Pour half of it into this empty one. And then every day for a week, I'm going to uncap it, let it sit for a minute or two, recap it. And in the end, and after a week, that might give me something to do when I'm on my vacation. So, yeah, I'm going to do that with this. Because this is, oh my goodness, this is like a bourbon. Kind of looks like a light bourbon, doesn't it? Like a light colored bourbon. That's my patented move now. It gets the leg, look at that. It gets the legs running. That's like, that is like a bourbon. That drink's more like a bourbon than a tequila. Maybe that's why it's so famous. Maybe that's why a lot of people like it. I didn't get any of that off of the first half of the bottle. I didn't get any of that off of the majority of the bottle. When I first got this bottle from off the rip to the halfway point, honestly, transparently, all transparency on this channel, okay? When I had off the rip, I thought it was a little bit too much. So I drank it down to the halfway mark, mixing it with my tonic waters. Nice. Because of the extra strength he had in it, it kind of follows over through into the tonic and lifts it up a little bit. The tonic water, it like does magic with tequila. It does magic with tequila. Even my wife agrees on that. And she doesn't drink. But the halfway mark, I had that full review and I sipped it neat and it was much better than off the rip. Just like the other ones. This one, now at the final pour, I didn't get that from the halfway mark all the way down to this final pour. I didn't get this whole more like a bourbon than it is tequila. That's what I'm going to do. So if that interests you, look for that coming soon. It may be a week or two before we get to that part, but we'll go every step of the way. How about that? So let's go ahead and get this finish on. Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. It's a little bit loose on the end. Like it's really good all the way up to the very end there. And then it kind of starts to unravel a little bit. The majority of the intensity is going to be on the heat in the back end. But it's not even close to a 2. It's relatively well balanced. Everything is pretty equal. You got, excuse me, I'm still burping. I don't know why. You got cheeks. You got lips, you got gums. The tongue is not quite tapped out. Excuse me. Wow, man, what is that? That's nice. That's a nice finish. Very interesting. So, I guess we'll do a quick recap. I mean, why not? We're already pushing 13 minutes on this video. So, I guess this is probably going to win out. I mean, I did say that the Luna Azul was a dang good bottle. It is. For 25 bucks for a full 750, 100% certified, additive free. You can't go wrong with that one. This was a game changer. This changed my mind. Complete 180 by the middle section. Same thing with the Hornitos. I'm cautious about this thing because I don't know much about it, but I've heard things that I haven't verified. But at the halfway point, this too as well got better. It was much, much better at the final pour. I'd have to say, the final pour, the winner of the final pour goes to the 1800. I can't remember the price point on these bottles, but they were all 20, 25. I think this one was like 17 something, under 20. This one was like the most, I think this was the most expensive one for that size. This one was next, and then that one was like third, I think. So I think it was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Most expensive going backwards. This one, this one, this one, this one. There it is. If you're still watching the video after 14 minutes, you must like the video. So go ahead and hit the like button. Let me know that you like it. Let the algorithm know that you like it. Or heart, whatever platform you're on. If you want to skip all the work and ensure that you always get these videos hot and fresh, served to you as they are put out, why don't you just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the follow, whatever it may be. That way, as soon as they're done, they come right to you. Do me a favor. Let me know where you're at, because I'm interested in how the world of libations is in your area. Any kind of news, any kind of rumors. Oh, I'd love a juicy rumor. What are you drinking? What do you think about the 1800? As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed this series. Definitely have a good one.